Good afternoon and welcome to Loughborough University, where we are for Wbbl Championship action between the Leicester Riders and the Oakland's Wolves. Riders currently sit at the top of the league table at 3-0, but this is their first home game of the league season, having played a couple of home games in the Wbbl Cup. And for the Oakland's Wolves, just their second competitive game of the season so far, having to delay the start of the season due to a couple of issues to do with COVID and coronavirus, and got their season underway against Newcastle Eagles. They took a loss in that game, going down 87-91 in overtime as well. But second game of the season, they're going to be looking to bounce back straight away. Leicester Riders in the meantime looking to continue to stay undefeated on the season, taking all games into account across both the Cup and the Championship, sitting at 7-0, and also winning all of those 7 games by an average of 22.7 points per game. So in a real hot streak of form, the Leicester Riders at this point in time. Interesting to see how these two teams match up today. My name's Liam Jefferson. I'm going to be riding solo on commentary for the ball game today. Make sure if you're joining us on the Wbbl YouTube channel that you do drop a little like and share the stream as well across your social channels if you can do. Starters for both teams: for the Leicester Riders, Allen, Winterburn, Oliver, Henriksdotter and Lappenkopper. And then at the other end for the Wolves, Carter, Porter, Milligan, Rouse and Upperus. Just a slight delay as the officials just check the score sheet with head coach Lee Ryan. And I think there's just an issue with the starting 5 for the Oakland's Wolves, and I think the wrong 5 might have been put in the scorebook, but looks like that's rectified, and we're going to have a quick early sub as soon as we get underway. And both teams just taking the knee in continued support of the Black Lives Matter movement, showing there is no room for racism in any sport or any walk of life. And so it's going to be Rouse and Oliver to contest the initial tip, and after a loose ball, it comes up in the hands of the Riders, but throw it away immediately and the Wolves have it. So a scrappy start in the first few seconds of the ball game. Rouse inside off the backboard for 2, and it's a 2-0 lead for the Oakland's Wolves off the first possession of the ball game. Oliver now up high, hands off to Henriksdotter. Just switches play to the opposite side of the floor. Reverses through Winterburn, straight back to Henriksdotter with enough time and space to line it up. And the rebound, last touch by Whitney Allen, and there will be that sub as Dorka Boris checks into the game. And Daisy Porter heads to the bench after 40 seconds of play, and now both teams do have the 5s on the floor that they wanted to start the ball game with. Carter has it, uses the horns action screen. Oakland's reverse to Upperus. Thinks about the shot, turns it down. Boris drives baseline, but it's cut off by Winterburn. Has to skip it. Shot clock down to 1. The heave's no good. And the Leicester Riders defense has been their story of their Wbbl season so far, holding teams to just 50.8 points per game. And on that possession, showing why that might be. Lappenkopper finds Winterburn. Winterburn probing out to Henriksdotter. Turns down the corner 3. Takes a lot of contact from Carter. And that'll be the first foul on Amari Carter. First year with Oakland, graduate of the University of Arizona. Also spent some time at Penn State as well. Averaging 14 points per game in her debut Wbbl season. Someone that the Wolves will need on the floor as Winterburn drives baseline, goes up and under, and ties us all up at 2 apiece. Carter, side ball screen. Taking her time. Deflected out of bounds by Lapp and Copper. Yeah, Boros to inbound, finds Carter. Open side, drives at the defense, stops and pops, no good. The tip out to Boros for two. Long two is good for Dorka Boros. And it's another 2-point lead for the Oakland's Wolves in the first couple of minutes. Henriksdotter hands it off to Winterburn, penetrates straight to the basket, lefty layups no good. And Uprush comes down with it, pushes the pace to the opposite end, goes straight to the basket. Nice little dump off pass to Rouse, but Winterburn was aware and tipped it out of bounds. So it'll be an Oakland's Wolves possession from the baseline. Into Milligan, Milligan for two, just a little bit short, and Oliver commands the rebound. Winterburn's going to slow the Riders down, getting them into their half-court offense to Henriksdotter. Immediate handoff back into the hands of Winterburn. Passing lanes all cut off. Oliver strong inside by Kate Oliver, but can't get the roll on the rim. Out to Henriksdotter for free, and it's good. And the Leicester Riders have their first lead of the ball game. Uprush at the other end, looking to drive baseline. Nowhere to go. Boros using a screen from Rouse, who slips it quickly. Boros skip past to Milligan. Head fake gets the defender in the air, finds Rouse on the circle movement. And the Oakland's Wolves offense looking like it's operating at a high clip at the moment as they lead 6-5. Oliver into the paint, no good, tipped away. Deflection comes to Winterburn. Oliver for free, straight line, no good. Rebounded by Rouse. Milligan pushing the pace over the top to Rouse on the rim run. Dumps it off to Boros. And the Oakland's Wolves have their biggest lead of the game, albeit a slender one at 3 points. In the corner with Lapp and Copper, up and under. Rebounded again by the Wolves. Carter stops and pops, no good. Rebounded again by Rouse, who's been everywhere on the glass in the early parts of the ball game. Boros into the paint. Boros fades away for two. Front rim, rebounded again by Louise Rouse. And there's a jump ball called. Inbound in to Lapp and Copper after the jump ball call. Trying to find Henriksdotter on the curl. Drives herself. Left-handed layups, no good. Rebounded by Uppers. And the Oakland's Wolves defense standing strong in the first 4.5 minutes of the ball game here at Loughborough University. Uppers drives baseline, finds Rouse inside. No good on the layup. And it's rebounded by Whitney Allen. And head coach Jesper Sundberg not looking happy with his team, looking to make some early substitutions. Allen over the top to Winterburn, and it's another layup blown by the Riders. That's 4 now at the rim where they've not been able to convert. Opera sets her feet for free. No good. Loose balls wrapped up by Boros and Lapp and Copper. It's going to be a foul called. That one's going to go on Dorka Boros. That's her first foul. And almost wholesale substitutions for Jesper Sundberg as he brings in Hannah Robb, Christina Gaskin and Katie Januszewska. Winterburn calls out the Riders offense, finds Oliver high post. Oliver looking for the pocket pass into Winterburn, is taken away by the Wolves. And then the deflection by Hannah Robb out of bounds. Robb in her last game before heading off to join the GB senior women's team, playing their Euro Cup qualifiers over the next couple of weeks. So Rob will fly out and join that team tomorrow. Boris into Harrison, who's into the ball game for the first time. Guarded by Hannah Robb. Harrison skip pass to Upperus. Upperus penetrates, stops and pops, and it's a 10-5 lead for the Oakland's Wolves. 4 minutes and 24 left to play in the first quarter. Winterburn over the half court for the Riders, looking to create something, gets into the paint, takes a lot of contact, and that foul is going to go on Lauren Milligan. That'll be her first foul of the ball game, but it will send Holly Winterburn to the line to shoot 2. And another sub for the Riders as Ella Clark checks into the game. Kate Oliver heads to the bench. So only Winterburn now of the starters remaining on the floor for the Riders. Winterburn good at the line. So it's a 6-10 ball game. Oakland's Wolves currently leading the way. Upperus finds Rouse on the pop from the screen. A little bit too much on the jumper. And is rebounded by Jana Zuska. Gaskin with the handle up high. Hands it off to Jana Zuska, trying to turn the corner. Back in the hands of Holly Winterburn. Just backs it out. Plenty of time on the shot clock. No good, and rebounded by Boros. Boros thinks about the free, no good. Skip pass all the way over to Upperus, wide open on her own. Doesn't get the friendly roll, but there's a big offensive rebound by Milligan, who kicks out to Boros. Again, no good, but Oakland's are all over the offensive glass in the early part of the ball game. Gaskin inside at the other end. Again, the Riders no good with the layup. And again, Winterburn will try and slow the Riders' offense down and find a good look. Gaskin inside of Winterburn. It's stripped by Milligan, but last touch by her, so it'll be a Riders' possession from the baseline. And that will also see a timeout for head coach Jesper Sundberg, who does not look happy after 7 minutes of early action. So we're just going to take a short 30-second break during the timeout. And we'll be right back for the final 3 minutes of the first quarter. So an early timeout for head coach Jesper Sundberg, just to reset his team ever so slightly, but they only trail by 4. Being said, they're leaving a lot on the rim. 2 for 11 in the ball game. Only 2 points in the paint. They've had plenty of opportunities. Lap and couple of inbound into Clark on the pop. Front rim, no good. Big rebound by Jana Zuska, and again deflected out of bounds by Milligan. Rob to inbound from the corner to Gaskin, back out to Lapham Cupper. Clark high post, finds Rob on the curl, set to feet. Front rim no good again on the free, and bodies on the floor for the loose ball. And the jump ball arrow is in favour of the Leicester Riders. Sorry, the Oakland's Wolves, so it'll be a Wolves possession from the sideline. Harrison to set the Oakland's Wolves offense. Takes it over the centre line. Rouse finds Upperus. Rouse immediately sets that screen, gets it back on the pop. Out to Milligan. Milligan to the left. And it's just deflected out of bounds off the Riders. Yeah, sub for the Wolves as Upperus heads to the bench. Amari Carter checking back in. Milligan short corner guarded by Gaskin. Handoff to Sarson in the game for the first time, and the Wolves weren't aware of the shot clock. And as that expires, the second shot clock violation of the game for the Wolves, but they're still in command. 4 points, 6-10. Lapham Copper guarded by Sarson. And the Rob kicks out to Januszewska, looks to drive baseline, but it's taken away by Carter. Gaskin for free, and it's good. And that's a welcome sight for Jesper Sundberg and the Leicester Riders as they trim that lead to 1. Harrison to answer straight back at the other end, but short and rebounded by Lapham Copper, pushing the pace for the Riders now. Clark inside to Gaskin. Gaskin with the strong move inside. And just like that, out of the timeout, a response from the Leicester Riders. And they take their first lead since the first couple of minutes of the game. Carter shaking and baking and fouled. Into a dribble series to get past Rob, and a lot of contact on the jumper, so she's going to head to the charity stripe for 2. And then subs for the Wolves as well as Milligan heads to the bench.